Hey, my name's Paul. Welcome back. Right, so I've got a three-story house and I've had a Nest version 2 installed for about 3 years now. I moved into this house about 3 years ago. I got the first Nest installed via N-Power in the UK. They fitted it for free when I signed up with the N-Power electricity service. But because I've got a three-story house, I've got two zones. The ground floor is one zone where the current Nest version 2 is installed, and the top two floors have their own separate zone, which currently is a manual thermostat. So I thought I'd change it. This is a Nest version 3, and with that I've also got the Nest, let's go around, Nest stand as well. So I thought I'd just do a quick unboxing. Here we go. So this does come in a variety of colours in terms of the bezel. I've gone for the classic silver look. I've got this silver look in the Nest version 2, which I think only came in silver, and it looks nice, so I'll come for the same again. Not sure what that's for. Oh, that just covers up. So here, you see the Nest is a silver bezel with a black kind of inlet bezel there, and I don't know if it picks up a camera, but you can see the LCD screen or LED screen is here, with a sort of a flat bit here, which this covered up, that flat bit there. I'm not sure why it's flat. It's like a bit like a inlet down there. So there you go. So the version 3 version of Nest is larger than version 2. Hang on a second, I'll show you version 2. So here you go, I've actually taken version 2 off my wall. So you can see version 2 and version 3 side by side. Version 3 here has got the larger screen. Version 2 has got a smaller screen, if you can see that. There you go. And a bit of a wider black bezel. In terms of actual overall size, I think they're identical. Yeah. In terms of width, version 2 is actually a bit deeper, a bit thicker, but not much. About 3 or 4 millimeters. Okay. So what else have we got here? In here is some documentation, the installation guide. I'm actually going to get this fitted tomorrow by a professional, quick and easier. This Nest device actually goes next to the boiler. So it's got an on-off button here. So if you ever want to override the Nest manually, you can do. I've never actually needed to with my current Nest. But there you go. That connects to your boiler somehow. Don't know how. And this is, I think, what goes into the wall. Where the existing thermostat is, it replaces the existing thermostat. So this goes into the wall, and this then sits on top of there, like so. Okay. And it comes with some screws as well. So inside the Nest stand, this is a new Nest for version 3. It won't fit the version 2 version of Nest. Comes with, what's this? That's just a diagram to show how it all fits together. How the Nest screen sits onto the back plate, which fits into the stand which has a USB cable which goes to your power socket. Okay. This is obviously a plug, which UK format, which quite interesting about plugs in the UK actually. We have 3 pins. The top pin is longer than the bottom 2 pins, so when you plug into the socket, this one, the earth, always goes in first. Then you have the other 2 cables at the bottom, and so it's always very safe. So if children do put their fingers into the plug socket, it's actually one of the safest plugs, if not the safest plug types in the world, I believe. That's a USB-A socket there. Oh, also with this, when the ground plug goes in first, 2 plates open up actually in the socket to allow these 2 in. So without this being in first, you can't actually touch the live wire with your finger, because this one opens up the doors in the plug socket itself. If you look at the plug socket, you see. This is the stand, Nest version 3 stand. This is an inlet here for the USB cable to come out of. And here is the USB cable. Quite simple. So obviously this cable will poke through here into the Nest device itself. Behind here, the cable will run through like that, just stay in place, and then this end USB-A goes into the plug like so. Actually, says Nest on back, which is quite nice. When you have lots of plug sockets in one multi-function socket, it's nice to actually have a descriptive thing on the back of each plug, and that goes into a socket. There you go. So I'm having the Nest installed tomorrow. The reason I've got the plate here was so I can actually have the Nest installed in my living room. Right now the Nest version 2 is installed in my hallway, and that's not fantastic because I spend a lot of time in my living room, and I'll adjust the temperature for my downstairs floor based on the living room temperature, not the hallway temperature. The hallway sensor, or the Nest, currently sits behind the front door, so when it's cold, wintertime, you open up the front door and all the cold air comes into the hallway, and the Nest goes, temperature's dropped, so it turns the heating on kind of unnecessarily. So yeah, it's much better for it to be actually in the living room where you spend most of the time. And yeah, we'll put it there, see how it goes, and hopefully all will well. Great, we'll see what it's like tomorrow after it's been installed, and I'll produce another video to show you guys. Okay, see you later.